Namaste. You're watching India Talks, and I'm Sam Shivraj. We're back at long last from our 3-month-long vacation. We were gone for a while, just in time to wish you a Happy New Year, but that would sound really weird. So we're wishing you a very happy Tamil New Year. Yay! And it's a new year for India Talks too. We had our first ever live episode in February 2010, and so we're celebrating 4 years of India Talks. Thank you to our viewers and whoever's watching tonight for supporting us through the years and spending some of your Friday nights with us. We know that you'd rather be partying, but of course you're watching India Talk, so thank you very, very much for that. So here's what's in the news. We have some amazing students to tell you about. They aren't just tomorrow's bright futures, they're also today's bright minds. An Indian-American teen could save American politicians and the government millions of dollars. We're talking enough money to buy probably like an arm of Google. You know, Google's been buying drones and stuff. This was probably enough to buy one of those drones. 14-year-old Suvir Mirchandani of Pittsburgh claims that the U.S. government can save $400 million a year just by changing a font. He says that if the government only used the font Garamond, I think it's called, it could save money on ink. So instead of just saving money by recycling, Mirchandani found a way for the government to save money when it prints by using a font that takes up less space. To be fair, the government can probably save tons of money by not printing the Affordable Care Act, which is over 1,000 pages long. But anyways, great job, Suvir. Big round of applause to him. So if you're still doing your taxes, I suggest you fire your accountant and say goodbye to your tax companies. Just hire this young man to do your budget and your taxes. He'll save you millions. This next student may not be the brightest mind, but he sure got his 15 minutes of fame. Earlier this month, Miss America Nina Davuluri went to high school students to talk about diversity in the workplace and diversity in certain fields when a student asked her to prom. So I don't know if you've been following this. It's lately a thing. It's called a promposal, and there are tons of videos out there. These kids are really upping the stakes, so I'm glad I'm well out of high school now. Anyways, Nina laughed it off, but unfortunately, the school didn't. The student ended up without a date to prom and got suspended. Poor kid. That was a bit extreme on the school's part. Oopsies. Then, this group of female students in Chennai gave a whole lot of heart along with their hair. Take a look at this. Women from the Madras Christian College donated their hair to wigs for cancer patients as part of an awareness and donation campaign called Tangled. It's really truly moving and it's inspirational. In addition to these women who shaved their heads completely, several women cut off over 8 inches of hair to help these cancer patients. It's very noble and very commendable, and a huge round of applause for them. I'm also very impressed by this and very moved by this because Indian women, whatever they treasure, whatever, they consider beauty, they consider hair beauty. And the fact that these women are giving up their hair so that someone else can feel beautiful is amazingly touching, and I hope more people would follow their lead. So that was beautiful. Another round of applause for them. Well, India had a momentous civil rights accomplishment last week. The Indian Supreme Court recognized transgenders as the third gender. They will be granted all the rights of all other citizens, including the right to vote, drive, and hold a passport. The court also passed several directions to protect transgenders and ensure their social welfare. So here's to moving forward. By the way, you're watching India Talks TV show live right here from New York. We are on Time Warner Cable, Verizon Fios, and RCN in Queens, only in Queens, but your friends can watch the show from anywhere in the world at www.indiatalkstv.com because we are live streaming it. India Talks is sponsored by Ragachitra Foundation, the Institute for Indian Classical Music and Dance. So if you want to learn Indian music, Ragachitra Foundation can help you no matter where you are, because just like India Talks, they're super high tech and they take online classes. So visit www.ragachitra.org for more information. We also thank PrepMate for sponsoring the show. PrepMate specializes in SAT and SHSAT prep, and they've been doing so for several years. Hundreds of PrepMate students have bagged seats in various New York City specialized high schools. SHSAT summer prep at PrepMate starts on July 1st, and for more information, you can visit www.prepmate.com. So Times just released its 100 most influential people for 2014. Woohoo! That's breaking news, actually. We rarely have breaking news on India Talks, but that is breaking news. So this list includes Beyonce, Serena Williams, Carrie Underwood, Miley Cyrus. Wait, what? Why? Anyways, that's questionable. Come on, Times. You gotta have better standards than that. Indian politician Modi is on that list, and he's very ambitious. He wants to become India's next prime minister. It's like India's next top model, but we don't do top models, we do top politicians. Also on the list is Arvind Kejriwal of the Aam Aadmi Party, who's cleaning up India with his broom and cleaning up the corruption. Big round of applause to him. Also on that list is Arunachalam Muruganathan. Woof, I am getting tongue-tied tonight. He designed a simple machine to produce sanitary pads and has helped millions of poor Indian women. That's really nice. Big round of applause to him. If you've been following the United States midterm elections for gossip, you know, I'm sure you've heard this one guy photoshopped a picture of him with Obama in his campaign ad, turned out to be false. You think that's gossip? You've been missing out big time. The real juicy, reality show worthy, Bravo worthy gossip is actually in Indian elections. Everyone from BuzzFeed to the New York Times is having a field day with these elections. After all, it is the world's largest election event ever, and it's only going to get bigger with every passing year. Such a big election means huge, big, colossal gossip. We mean giant. We're electing a new prime minister, and the candidates are Narendra Modi and the prodigal son, Rahul Gandhi. I mean, just look at these numbers. We have some stats on this election, and the numbers are just staggering. There's something like 814 million registered voters, and let's see, 543 parliamentary seats up for grabs. So if you haven't registered to vote to run, you still have a chance to do that. More than 900,000 polling stations, more than 1.5 million voting machines, 10 million police and election officers, and grand total 300 billion rupees or 5 billion US dollars. That is giant. So not only do they look forward to the new refrigerators, the TVs, and the machines they get, they also are looking forward to possibly new wives. This one guy in Haryana asked a parliamentary candidate for a wife. He said that he would vote for the candidate if he brought him a bride. Oof. Other than the perks, Indians also get free entertainment during this time through Rahul Gandhi, the prime minister hopeful. But he's been making the news. But I don't know if it's for the right reasons. Take a look at this.
Rahul, please answer my question as specifically as you can.
What Rahul Gandhi wants to do is Rahul Gandhi and millions of youngsters in this country want to change the way the system in this country works. What Rahul Gandhi wants to do is empower the women in this country.
This morning, I got up at night.
That's the height of eloquence and persuasion. So persuading, wow. He seems to have a habit of talking about himself in the third person. I'm sure if he were watching this right now, he'll probably say, Rahul Gandhi is upset. Again, for those of you who just joined in, you're watching India Talks live from New York. We have lots of exciting segments ahead, so just sit back and enjoy the rest of the show. To begin, I have two amazing guests from the Tamilnadu Foundation here with me. Let's give them a huge round of applause. I have the chairperson, Brahashita, and Venkatesan, who's the vice president. Wow, such lovely titles. I want a title too. Where can I get one?
Sure, come join us.
So, happy Tamil New Year to both of you. How did you celebrate? What did you do at home?
Actually, like say we had a family gathering and everything.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
happy belated Tamil New Year wishes to you and the viewers.
Thank you. Did you make any sweets, any nice summer food?
Of course, payasam.
Payasam.
Who doesn't like payasam,
What
right?
kind of payasam? Now I'm going on like this feeding frenzy.
Yeah, we all like the semia payasam.
That's my favorite. What about you? What did
So
you
we
do?
cooked some Indian delicious
Nice.
sweet, and we went to temple. And
That's-
most of the
I
time
love
we
it.
spent in the temple.
That's great. Speaking of food, have you been to this restaurant, House of Dosas, which is somewhere in Long Island, Hicksville, I think,
Yes.
is where it is?
Yeah.
We just started going there recently, and they have these amazing mini idlis, which is something I look forward to because that's what I used to eat back in India when we were home.
Correct.
And the kuti mini idli, kuti, I mean, that's a redundancy. But my mom used to have an idli tatte just for the tiny,
Just for the
tiny
little
ones.
kids,
I
right?
know,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, I'm no longer a little kid, but you don't have to be to enjoy it. That'll be my excuse. But that restaurant is just great. Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times.
Yeah,
Yes,
right?
It's great, yes.
Great. So how are your children involved in Tamil New Year this year, and how did they celebrate it?
They actually like say they took a part of their savings and they wanted to help people out
Oh, that's
because
lovely.
of their interaction with the Tamilnadu Foundation. And so, it's just small little something what we can give back to the Indian children because the mission of Tamilnadu Foundation is to help children educate, especially the underprivileged children. Because that is a necessity at this point.
Most definitely is. And I think that's lovely that they, at the time of a holiday, instead of,
Right.
I want this, I want that. I like that they have that giving back attitude. And they have a lot more. These kids constantly surprise me. I was actually in the bathroom while the Tamilnadu Foundation kids, by the way, are going to perform for us later. And they were getting dressed, and I heard two of them actually, talking in Tamil. And that was amazing to me because these children grow up here. They go to school here, which means that for a good amount of their day, they are with people who don't speak Tamil, who are
Correct.
probably not even Indian. And they still speak the language and they still keep with their culture. So how do you help them retain these roots?
Well, talking to them in Tamil makes a big difference, and especially when you have elders in the family who are much more stern on following the language.
Right.
It's even more easier. But then as parents, when we make it a point to speak, at least a little bit retains.
Yeah, right.
Something is better for nothing.
That's very true. And these kids are a lot more well-versed with the latest Tamil movies than I could
That's
ever
true.
be.
Very true. Very true.
Oh my God. They could probably, if we had a Tamil movie Jeopardy, they would just clean out
And the songs
space.
too.
I know.
And the songs, they know more than us.
They do. And their pronunciation, by the way, is flawless when it comes to
Correct.
those songs. They're
They
so
watch
good.
UTV, UTV is
Yeah.
common. They just go and type in and they just get new
Yeah.
movies, the names, and they
Yeah.
watch.
Do you think that helps them watching Tamil movies?
To learn the language, of course, yes, it does.
Do you think it makes them feel more comfortable? Do you think it's a more fun way for them to learn than going to
Classes.
a class?
It's a practical way of
It's a
learning.
practical way.
way of learning Tamil.
True. And they, that's great because they get to watch these movies and then they come to the Tamilnadu Foundation and talk to other kids and they have something to talk about. They have this cool new movie to talk about.
Correct. It's a nice, this organization, Tamilnadu Foundation, is a very nice organization because it's mainly using the children to help children back home. And at the same time, education is a necessity, not a luxury. Over here, we have everything in a silver platter. And even if the child is struggling, we have aids and we have where people are say taking care of them. But in India, they just plainly drop out. And so we are coming into the picture to make sure that we are giving the right education, foundation education to the underprivileged children. and we have connection with the Tamil Nadu government, so we can get into the remote villages and tribal areas and give them the necessity to continue their education.
So how exactly does it work? How do the kids in Tamilnadu Foundation here help back home?
They raise funds. Kids basically, they raise funds, and again, with the exchange rate and everything, every dollar can go a long way.
An insanely
Correct.
long way.
And so we actually send the money there because we have the administration office there, because we are the Tamilnadu Foundation New York chapter.
Okay.
But then the national
they're-
organization
Okay,
is
that
Tamilnadu
was my next
Foundation.
question.
So we basically collect the money and then we send it to our branch in Chennai, and we tell them, like a pet project, you know what, why don't we like say maybe provide clean water to the remote villages so they can, the kids can drink and they can have their education, buy them benches and chairs, and sometimes like build a fence and bathrooms, especially for the girls, and at the same time like meals, and we hire teachers and to teach them soft skills. We are trying to make them self-sufficient. That's our mission with education. So we are trying to prevent the school dropouts and helping them educate, because once you like say educate a village, especially a remote village, then the town, the quality of the town gets up. And once the town, then it's the region, then it's the state, and then the nation.
How high are these dropout rates?
I do not have the exact statistics of the dropout rates, because they are doing statistics, and in the last few years, it has actually got reduced because of our efforts.
That's great. Big round of applause to that. How do you get these children to recognize what they have here? Because, they're with their peers, and even the very basics that we have here can be seen as luxury there.
Correct.
But they have even more on top of that. They have
Correct.
all of these new gadgets, and here it's a big deal now if a school doesn't have iPads to loan its
Correct.
students.
Correct.
So how do you get them to recognize that what they have here is pretty much just royal treatment compared to
Correct.
not even having a notebook?
You're absolutely right, because here, everything is again in a silver platter. But then when we are going back home, because our administration building is there in Chennai, so what we do is we are creating programs where it's like an exchange program for the high school students especially. So this way they can get their volunteer hours, and at the same time go and reach out to the villages straight away to help them, so they know what they are blessed with.
That's lovely. So when these kids go back home, is there any way for them to visit these villages
Of
and
course.
see
Of course, yes.
their work materialize?
Of course.
Every
That's
family go
beautiful.
for a vacation. We tell them, we give the address and things like that, where we do the
Really?
projects, so they can go and have a look there, learn
That's
something.
amazing. Do they have pen pals by any chance with any of
No.
the kids back home?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That'll be next.
There's
Look
no
out,
pen pals.
kids.
Text pals.
Text pals. You know what? You're right, because as much as we're talking about how much more we have here, when I went to India a couple of years ago, I was shocked. Even the local flower delivery guy, even the local Yerani Vikrama, they all have cell phones and
Correct.
they're constantly on
They
it. That's
do.
amazing.
That's true. Very
Everyone
true.
has, on each and every house they have like
No.
8 to 10 cell phones they have there.
8 to 10 cell
yes.
phones?
Everyone in the house they have now.
Can I borrow one in case I lose one? Oh my goodness. But I think this is great work that the Tamilnadu Foundation is doing, because when it does come down to it, we are in the United States, but that's because we came here. Our
Correct.
heritage is still back there, and it's lovely that the kids get to not only see it from a distance, but actively participate in it and make a difference with what they have here. That's lovely. And do you have any events coming up? You do.
Actually, we have a big we started this 4 years ago, this foundation.
Right.
The New York chapter.
New York chapter, and every 4 years we do some on Mother's Day. Particularly, we do
yay.
some programs. Particularly now in May 10th, we have a big event comes, and it's like we have a multi-cultural program
That's excellent.
and Carnatic music, and
Group dance competition, and we also have like the Pattimandram, which is a debate.
debate. Yeah.
Who's going to be debating? The kids?
No, it's actually adults.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's going to be a nice debate. Do we know the debate topic yet?
Yep.
Oh my God, can you tell us?
That is Americaவில் குழந்தை வளர்ப்பில் யாருக்கு அதிக பங்கு. Taya Tandaya. That means in America.
That means that someone is going to not have dinner when they get home. That's
That
what
is
that
true.
means. Oh my
That means in
goodness.
America, who is more responsible in raising the child, mom or dad?
Wow.
What
Can
do you
we
think?
take sides? You're expecting me to take sides? See, okay, if when you go home after this debate, someone is going to sleep on the couch, someone's not going to have dinner. If I answer that question, I won't even go home. So let me not go there. I think both my parents are fabulous, and I love both my parents. Love you. That also means I want something. So where is this event going to be?
It's in Queens High School of Teaching in Commonwealth Boulevard, close to Union Turnpike.
Union Turnpike.
That's a lovely campus.
It's a beautiful campus.
Campus, a big
yeah.
campus. It's a new one, new building actually.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
really good.
And where can people learn more about TNF as well as this event?
The website they can go to is tnfusa.org. But then if they want to send emails to our New York chapter, then they can send it to TNF New York, spelled NEWYORK @gmail.com.
So for more information, they can go to tnfusa.org.
Correct.
And they can also email you. So don't miss the event. It'll be a lot of fun. That debate sounds just amazing. You're not going to get a better gossipy, like full-on thing than that. So, and the TNF kids will actually give us a sneak peek because they're going to perform later tonight. And I hear they have a great, great dance in store for us. Let's hear some noise from over there. Wow, a ruckus, this loud crowd over here. But thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Let's give them a big round of applause. It's always inspirational to walk away from people who are doing great things for our community, and it's great to show them to the world because we have to be proud of them. If your community organization wants to be featured on India Talks, please do contact us. And there's a lot more to come in this episode. We are not even halfway done. We have guests from Samad and Casina Park Civic Association, so we have a lot going on. And like I said, best for last. Or actually not last, you guys are not last. We have the dancers from Tamilnadu Foundation, and I believe this is exclusively choreographed for India Talks, so this is exciting. And in the meantime, take a look at some of the highlights from India's elections, and we'll be right back with a lot more India Talks.